This is Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, best-selling author, and host of an explodingly popular podcast. I got to come up with a better phrase than that, but it is.
Yeah, I don't think explodingly is a good word.
Explodingly popular. Yeah, there's a lot. Well, anyway.
But Dave, you've been doing this for 30 years.
There's a lot of people listening to it in a very short period of time, and I'm proud of it, and I'm proud of you, and I love that it's popular because what you're putting out there, the material, the answers to questions in people's lives is absolutely valuable, and it's unique and it's fresh and refreshing, and so I'm glad that
I appreciate that.
I'm glad the curve on the listenership is through the roof.
Well, I appreciate that.
Plus, I just like being associated with a big hit.
Well, and I think 30 years you've been making up words, so why stop now, right? We're going to go with exploding. This isn't the season to fix your grammar, Dave, so I say explodingly, let's do it, man. I'm in.
It's a little late in life because, number one, I'm beyond help. Number two, I just really don't care.
That's the dufecta. Is that even a word?
That one does it right there. So, open phones if you want to talk to this couple of clowns. Open 888-825-5225. We'll talk about your life and your money. The call is free, and some say the advice is worth exactly what you pay for it. Laura is with us in Los Angeles. Hey, Laura, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Sure, what's up?
I'm a little nervous. I'm going to try to calm down.
So, you'll be fine. We've never lost a patient. You'll make it.
Okay. My husband and I are at total odds kind of right now what to do about a decision, and so we're calling you. So we're new listeners. We've only been listening for a couple months, but we've listened a lot. And so basically, we're 50 and 60 years old. All of our money is in real estate. We've done well in real estate. We have about $6 million in paid-off real estate. It's all rentals.
I hate it when that happens.
Right. And we probably made some stupid decisions, but we were lucky and it worked out for us.
I think you've made some good decisions somewhere.
Right. So anyway, where we're at right now is everything is owned outright except for our personal residence and a vacation home in Palm Springs that's very successful Airbnb. Our personal residence is worth like $1.6 million, and we owe $350,000 on it. And our rental home is worth about $1 million, and we also owe $350,000 on it. My husband wants us to sell a paid-off rental that's worth about $350,000 that we own free and clear. It brings in about $2,000 a month, and it's a condo. It's easy. It's just the money just comes in. He wants to sell that to pay off our Palm Springs Airbnb, just so he just feels like he's 60 now and he just wants to not have that debt. He wants to just have a home mortgage, and he wants to really attack the home mortgage. And this whole debt-free idea is brand new to us, So, and I want to keep it because we have no retirement other than rentals. We have no stocks. We have no IRAs.
You have $6 million in real estate.
We do.
No whining allowed.
$28,000 a month.
No whining allowed. This condo's not going to break your retirement bank.
Right.
Sorry.
So,
it's okay. Why did he pick that condo to sell out of all the other properties?
He wants to sell something, and I think also our tenant just moved out, so it's vacant, which California rent laws would make it easier, to sell a vacant unit. And so it's just sitting there unrented, it's just, and we're at a stalemate, like kind of locking heads. And I said, well, why don't we rent it, take the $2,000, and since we don't need that to live on it, just attack the Palm Springs mortgage, and then we could just, and they're already on 15-year fix that we only have 13 years left.
So what is your household income? It's all off of rental properties is your income?
All off of rental, basically, yeah.
So what did you take in cash that you put in your pocket that you paid taxes on last year?
$200,000.
On $6 million?
Well, yeah. Well, it was like $340 is what it brings in, but then we write off a lot.
Yeah, I'm not talking about depreciation, but I mean you have actual expenses that eat your cash. I would hope you're making $340 after expenses on $6 million portfolio?
Well, maybe it's just because real estate's so expensive. Like our home is in that. You know what I mean?
No. Cash. You should have $340,000 income net of expenses before depreciation on $6 million portfolio. Anyway, that's still low, but you ought to at least have that.
Yeah. Well, we don't.
You don't.
We don't.
So what is the cash after expenses before depreciation that you guys have coming in to work with?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, that'd be a good number to have.
Okay.
Because that's called your income.
Right.
That's what you have to work with. Because if I wanted to answer the question, how fast can I pay off $700,000 worth of real estate debt, I would need to know what my income is to do that with. I will tell you $24,000 on a property that's worth $350,000 as your gross income, meaning you're netting somewhere around $17,000, really sucks. The ROI on that condo is pitiful.
Yeah.
It's bad. I don't care if it's low, if it's hassle, not got much hassle. You're not, you're making what, 4% on your money. That sucks. So I thought, I was hoping maybe you're going to tell me he picked it out because the income's horrible on it. But
no, it's just that it's empty. Yeah, now.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
well, I'm as you know from listening for just a few weeks, I'm going to lead you to be debt free as fast as I can. So the answer to your question is going to be you have to go back and do some homework, and you guys have to keep talking because you need to get to the bottom of this. So number one, we need these properties to be producing a cash on cash rate of return that is substantial. Okay. Number two, that's our income. Once we know what our income is, number two, how fast, if we keep the condo, can we get these $750,000 worth of debt cleared? How many years is that going to take?
Yeah.
How many years is that going to take? 5 years, 6 years, 7 years? He's 60 years old. He doesn't want to leave you with debt. And that's the goal. Okay, he's trying to take care of you. So then if it's going to take you 15 years because you're really making $200,000 on this $6 million because your real estate sucks, if that's really all you're making on it, and it's going to take you 10 or 15 years to clear this, you need to sell the condo because you need to clear this debt as a part of preparing for him to not be there, or if the golden years, whatever we want to call this next decade or two. If however you're making $300,000 or $400,000 that you have cash on at your fingertips, which I suspect you should be. Unless these properties are just not well run, you should be.
Well, okay. I feel like because everything's so expensive.
No, it's not got anything to do with that. It's not got anything to do with it.
Right. Okay.
If a property is worth $1 million, it should rent for a price. The rental price should reflect the value of the property. Right. If you've raised the prices as the values have gone up, because rents go up as values go up. And so, anyway, I own several $100 million of real estate. I love real estate. So you're in my sandbox right now, kiddo. So you either need to clear the debt with your income, or you need to clear the debt by selling the condo in the next 5 years. Now you run the numbers out and decide which one's the best. Hey folks, I got a great option to help you pay for your education. The Army National Guard. The Army National Guard believes you are the next greatest generation because you have proven that even in adversity, that you have what it takes to succeed. That's why they offer benefits like tuition assistance, career training, and a paycheck to help you avoid debt. No matter what your goals are, the Army National Guard can help you get there. Visit nationalguard.com to find out more. Well, speaking of real estate, if you've ever made a dumb decision with zeros on the end, you know you didn't do your research. Me too. Most people make choices based on feelings or opinions, especially when buying a house. But when it comes to the real estate market, feelings aren't your friend. Facts are. Well, John says that about a lot of things. So check your facts. Find out what you can actually afford. Research what's trending in home prices. Talk to a reputable real estate agent in your area. Never buy a house again without facts. Text the word house to 33789 to get an agent who will help you make smart decisions. Text house to 33789. Sarah is with us in Dallas, Texas. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure. How can I help?
All right. Well, my husband and I are in baby step 2, and since December of 2019, we've paid off $58,000.
All right.
And we only have about, thank you, we're very proud of that, but we are on to the second half of our debt now, and that's $37,000 left in student loans. But due to increased costs of having a second child over the last year and taking a job with a decreased salary, our shovel is substantially smaller compared to what it used to be. So I'm trying to think of ways, brainstorm ways to be gazelle intense given our new situation. And I had this crazy idea, and my husband was not super thrilled with it and actually asked me if I could call you to talk about it. What if we paid off what if we sold our paid off cars? If we did that, it would be a big step, but it would wipe out this $37K immediately, and we could then focus on all of the other things that we need to do, and then
you have a $40,000
getting
car.
back into a car. We have two $23,000 cars.
Oh, you'd sell both your cars.
Yes, that's why it's a big step.
And then you'd get you 2 beaters, huh?
Yes, maybe not beaters.
And what is your household income?
$140,000 a year.
And why can you not pay off 37 making 140,000?
So we bring home $8,800 a month, which is a lot, and we're very fortunate. $5,000 of it goes between daycare and our mortgage. They're about the same. That's over $5,000. We spend $1,000 on groceries, diapers, household things.
Your daycare is $60,000 a year.
Yeah, but between the 2 kids, we pay $2,200 a month, so not $60,000 a year.
That's not $5,000.
No, mortgage plus
No, I'm sorry.
daycare.
It's between daycare and mortgage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I mean,
that's
140. I don't know why mortgage and daycare are on the same list, but anyway, we'll put them there. So 140 minus 60, isn't that 80?
140 minus 60 is 80. Yes.
And why can you not pay off $37,000 again?
So I can pay off $37,000. I have $1,000 based on our debt snowball. I have $1,000 a month going towards that.
I don't think your budget is very sacrificial.
And that's true. There are other things that we could.
Yeah, like you're still doing a whole bunch of crap that you don't need to be doing.
Okay, well then we'll take a look at that and make it a little bit tighter. So you think
help me with this, because I'm not just making this up. I mean, I just took 140 and I took out the mortgage and I took out the daycare, which were your 2 primary things you're worried about. You don't have any payments except a student loan payment, and we took care of daycare and we took care of the mortgage. Now we got to buy lights, water, and food, and you can't find $37,000. That's just weird.
Okay, well looking at our budget and the gross that we come home with, like I said, it's $8,800.
Yeah, that's $120,000 a year. That's $120 a year.
Absolutely. And that's our gross, right? That's what we take home after taxes. Or our net, I'm sorry, not
I
gross.
know.
And then we take, and then it's about $1,000 on food, diapers, other household items.
That's 12.
Going, $1,000 on student loans, about $700 in bills, and at the end of the month we may have an extra $500 left, which will go towards our student
You did
loans.
not get down to $500. Your budget's, you're still not doing it. I'm sorry. The only thing I'm good at is math. And you still did not spend all that money. So you've got some work to do, kiddo. Sharpen the pencil. Sharpen the pencil. Sell one car maybe, but I don't think so. You're putting $1,000 a month towards 37. That's 12 of the 37. So all you need is $24,000. All you got to do is find $24,000 out of 140, 120 take-home pay.
For 1 year.
And to do it in 1 year. If you want to do it in 2 years, all you need is $12,000.
No, do it in 1 year. Just get it done with it.
I really think you can do it. I really think that there's some I think there's some whining in this budget. Yeah. I really do.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like I want to be comfortable.
Let me tell you. I'll go further. I don't think you're doing the whole budget because you're doing this from your head. That's why you've got daycare and diapers broken out as separate line items. Diapers don't go in a separate line item. They're not that big a line item. You're trying to crank this through in your brain. You need to sit down and do a written, detailed, line-by-line budget
with every
dollar.
Where
Get on the Every Dollar app with your husband. The two of you give every dollar a name, and you're going to see why I'm raising up on you. You're going to see there's money left here, and you can knock this out. No, you don't need to sell your cars. You need to tighten your budget and lower your stinking lifestyle.
And I actually think that when she first called, Dave, I was going to say, yeah, sell your cars and be done with this thing. But then I think the exercise. Oh,
it's much better than selling the cars.
Yeah, this is going to be I hate to use this word. It's going to be a spiritual exercise for this crew to get down and see what you're made of.
Yeah. This is going to force you to do the last 10% of truth.
Yes.
Which is
the hardest.
Is the detailed budget, because you can do big piece budgets in your head.
And when you make $140,000, you just feel like you got so much wiggle room. Right, and
you should have, and it's frustrating when you get to the end of the month and there's no money left, but you haven't detailed it out. I might be wrong, but I'm not. Been doing this too long, so that's my opinion. You keep digging on it, kiddo. If we can help you, we're here to help you. But part of the time we help you by raising up on you because we love you. We want you to win. All right, up next is going to be Armin. Armin's in Los Angeles. Hey, Armin, how are you?
Good. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
All right. So before I get into my question, I just want to give some context on my situation right now. So I'm 17 years old. I'm on my last semester at a community college, and I'm about to transfer to a UC school, but I'm faced with two different conflicting opinions. So I'm faced with the dilemma where if I transfer to UC Irvine, I would need to rent out a private house through UC Irvine Housing. And on the other hand, if I go to UCLA, I'll need to get a car. But it's that question of should I lease or should I buy? Because my surroundings of family and friends they're both raising pretty good arguments for leasing and buying. So I don't know.
Leasing and buying what?
Situation. A car.
Oh, okay. Well, the only people that promote leasing a car are broke people.
Okay.
I mean, the wealthy people don't lease cars. I mean, a few of them do. But by and large, let me tell you, we did a study of 10,000 millionaires, the largest study of millionaires ever done. None of them, not a single one of the 10,000 said, I became a millionaire because I really leveraged the use of that car by borrowing on it.
Yeah.
Not one. I mean, it wasn't a small percentage. It was freaking zero, Armin. Now, this is not your broke friend or family member who can make an intellectual argument. These are real millionaires. They don't borrow money on cars, dude. And when you ask them what the largest mistake they ever made in their working lifetime, they usually say, I borrowed to buy brand new cars.
I bought a new car.
I bought a brand new car when I was 26, and I was so stupid when I was 26, and now I'm 46, and I would have been a millionaire 4 years sooner if I hadn't have bought that stupid butt car on payments that I couldn't afford to buy.
So to answer your question, Armin, I drove a 1988 Toyota Tercel EZ hatchback. It cost $1,000. I bought it from some lady at my church whose husband had passed away. And that got me through my undergraduate. It got me through my first year of my professional job. And that's still driving somewhere, right?
Yep.
Buy the cheapest beater car you can get to get to and from. You're a 18-year-old kid, man.
And don't take financial advice from broke people, son. This is The Ramsey Show. Sean and Char are in Denver, and it says on my screen that you guys are debt-free. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How much have you paid off?
We paid off $100,000 in 27 months.
Wow, good for you. And your range of income during that time?
It was actually pretty steady. We are about $100,000 a year.
Okay. So kind of like the lady I was talking to a minute ago making $140 to pay off $37, they paid off $100 in 27 months making $100.
Exactly.
So I have to hear the story now because it seems like maybe I know what I'm doing. Okay. So
Allegedly.
What kind of debt was the $100,000?
Our debt was the IRS, HELOC, like credit cards, auto, and medical bills.
Wow.
And
I mean, you had some nasty piranha in that pond.
Yes.
Yeah, the tax man was not real happy with us.
Yeah. How much of the $100K was the KGB? I mean, the IRS.
It was about $20,000 was to the IRS.
How'd you end up owing that much in taxes?
Well, I went a few years without filing.
Oh, well, there's
and they
that.
didn't like
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a my bad on that one. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just thinking that that'll cause that. Yeah, I got it. Oops. Yeah. So, what happened 27 months ago? What was your wake-up call 2.5 years ago?
Well, so Char and I have both been through one marriage already. So when we met, we decided that we were going to base our relationship in God's word and try and live our relationship by His will. And as we were moving through and we decided to get married and we were planning our wedding, we were kind of noticing how much it was going to cost us. And as part of being living in God's will was to be good stewards of His blessings. So, and being one of the blessings that He's given us is, our financial money and how much we make. And so we were talking about it and decided that, we wanted to cash roll our wedding and we wanted to get out of debt and, start our life together on the right foot. So that's kind of how we decided to do that. And I'd heard of you from years ago. You're kind of a household name around our family. And so we got your book and we were reading it to each other before bed for about a week or so.
How romantic, right?
Yeah, right. Well, I got to admit, I put Char to sleep a couple times.
That would be me. You were reading it, but I would be the one. That's great. I love it. So $100,000 income. What do you guys do for a living?
I own my own hair salon business in Boulder, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I am I design medical equipment.
Very good. Okay, so you've been married about 2.5 years, 3 years?
Coming up on 2 years in May.
Okay, so you started the process a little bit before marriage then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, congratulations, you guys.
Who had the first conversation with who? Who actually sat down and said, "Hey, what if we did this?" Because that first conversation, especially for a new couple, takes a lot of courage, a lot of vulnerability. Who's the first one to have that conversation?
That totally is on Sean's shoulders.
So he looked at his wife, or his soon-to-be wife, and said, "What if we just scaled back and cash flowed this? And what if we stopped spending so much money?" And you were all in?
All in. Yep. All in.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Right,
So
well,
you were
looking at
feeling
it.
the stress and the pinch too then?
Well, yeah. I came into our relationship with, a good $60,000 of that $100,000 that we had, and I just didn't. When you have that much debt, I don't know. Like, I didn't know where I was going, and I was living paycheck to paycheck, and I didn't want to be like that. That was my family's typical MO, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to change that for our family.
You just think that walking through life with those ankle weights on and not sleeping and not knowing how we're going to eat the last couple of days, that's just normal, right?
Yeah, you get used to it.
Yeah. How's it feel now that you're out?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. And honestly, as soon as we started doing this and we were knocking bills out left and right, that's when I started to feel like I was free.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was great.
Yeah, you don't
to
even
have
have to
that.
be there. You just got to know that you can get there.
Yeah, we saw it coming. It was great.
So what did you learn about yourself and about each other through this 27 months?
Well, we were just talking about that this morning, and one of the things that we learned was, we don't always speak the same language when we're talking about our finances and budget and just life in general. So sitting down and forcing ourselves to learn how each other communicates and how to listen and speak each other's language was really nice. And
so give me an
lesson.
example of when one of you was speaking French and the other one was speaking Russian.
It usually came up when we were doing our budget, and Char would be trying to make sense of the numbers in her head, and I'm trying to make sense of the numbers in my head. And I'm looking at it as an engineer, and she's looking at it as a hairstylist. So those two things didn't always line up.
Okay, so the nerd and the free spirit for one thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or the spreadsheet lover and the guy reading a financial book to his new wife in bed, and the artist, right?
And I'm falling asleep.
That's right.
Yeah, and the artist
The
was
romantic,
sleeping.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, this is great.
I love it, guys.
You guys are amazing. I'm so proud of you. Very, very well done. What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Well, I think that the key, or our secret anyways, is that it has to be, you have to get over the heart problem instead of it having a math problem. So when you change your heart, the math will do itself.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Profound. Very well done. Good. Good job, you guys. Well, we've got a copy of Rachel Cruz's latest New York Times bestseller, Know Yourself, Know Your Money, and it'll help with the Russian and the French.
Yes.
That's what it's for.
What would you tell to a new couple who's about to get married or just got married that how this benefited you too? Because I want you to give hope to folks who are thinking, I'm not going to have this conversation.
It's definitely a hard conversation, but I think in the long run, it's definitely well worth it. It's just to have the debt off of your shoulders and not have to worry about anything. Like when the pandemic hit, because of my career, we were closed for 2 months out here, and we didn't have to, it didn't hurt us as bad as most people would because we were on a budget, and we still live on a budget, even though we're debt-free.
Yeah, me too.
I tell everybody that they should do it, whether you're married or you're single, because just the financial freedom and that weight lifted off of your shoulders is huge. I can't even explain it.
And I'll even go
emotional.
I'll go one step deeper and suggest that y'all two have worked together on a hard thing. They got behind the thing, right? You got behind the fear, and you guys worked through something hard together, and now y'all know, hand in hand, y'all can conquer anything. Yeah. And it's not a matter of if, but when life throws its next thing at you, y'all two both know we can do this because we've done it.
Yeah.
We're going to take over the world next.
There you go, man.
I love it, man.
Well, it needs a good taking over. So would you
Yes.
please get in business? Yeah.
Hurry up, Sean.
I
Hey,
like
pay
it.
your taxes on the way too, brother.
Yeah, keep your taxes paid while you're doing it. That way the world won't kick back. But yeah, I love it. Congratulations. All right, Sean and Char in Denver, Colorado, $100,000 paid off as newlyweds in 27 months, making $100,000. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Now let's just round that 27 months up to 36 months and call 100,000, 33,000 a year, making 100,000.
And I will say it for you, America, Dave was right. He's always right. And it's frustrating. I sit next to him and he signs my paychecks.
Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Julie is in Denver. Hey, Julie, welcome to the Ramsey Show. How can we help?
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I have kind of a funny situation. I have a brother-in-law who just offered to take us on a trip this summer. We're on baby step 2, and this year already has we've had some extra bills come up with some medical stuff. We think it's strange that they've offered to pay for a trip for us, and we don't know how to say, no, we don't want to go because we don't ever want to pay them back, even though it's a gift.
Why is it strange?
Well, they have not talked to us for about 6 years, and then about a year ago, they've had a change of heart and want to reconnect.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice.
It's your husband's brother?
Brother, yes.
So is there something about this gift you feel like is going to have strings attached to it?
Yes. My husband and his brother had a fight over a four-wheeler about 6 years ago, and it's just now being repaired.
Whoa.
And
Wait a minute. The fight is being repaired with the four-wheeler?
Well, the relationship.
Okay.
Like, we're being invited back to family gatherings and stuff.
Oh, so you got ruled out of mom and dad's and everybody's?
Yes.
But you know that was bigger than a four-wheeler, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
but I'm an in-law.
1,000% bigger than a four-wheeler.
Yeah.
That's probably some 30-year-old stuff that was proxy warred with the four-wheeler.
I think so. It was a joint-owned, father and son's four-wheeler.
Yeah.
And it got ugly for
years. You don't
years.
excommunicate family members over a toy, right? There's usually other stuff there.
Yeah, there's big stuff.
Yeah.
But it's strange, just the other day they offered to bring us on this trip. And we're on baby step 2, and we are just not there to go on vacation. But it's strange. We don't know how to answer because if we say no, it's a money thing, and then they say we're paying for it.
How much of this is your pride?
I don't know. It would be kind of hard to be like, thanks for the airfare and hotel, and
Why is that hard?
I just don't want it to blow up down the line and be like, well, we took you here. I don't know. I didn't think about that, Dr. John, actually.
So there's part
I'm going to defend her a minute.
Okay.
I don't think it's pride. I think she's gun shy.
It feels like you're projecting a future. You're predicting a future.
If
maybe
these people will blow you up over a four-wheeler, why wouldn't they blow you up over?
Yeah.
Come back later and circle around, hit you in the back of the head over a paid-for trip.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I also, if somebody says, "Man, what an idiot brother I was for losing out on 6 years of relationship." Hey, I want to start spending some intentional time together, and then all of a sudden I walk up and y'all are in baby step 2 of this weird cult that's happening off in Nashville, and then it's like, hey, cool, come with us. We're gonna. So the only reason I'm asking you, I'm trying to be provocative with you.
Sure.
How much of this is you saying, I'm too fancy, I've got too much pride to take someone else's money, versus, no, man, if we do this, this is going to end poorly for us? Because I think to answer your question, I think it's relatively easy. You say, hey, you know what? We're not going to do vacations this year. We're going to stay in. If y'all want to come visit us, that'd be awesome. But we're not going to do vacations this year. Next year, the year after, we can't wait. And then your boundaries are your boundaries. And if they want to throw a temper tantrum over that, then you've got your question answered for you, right?
Okay.
You knew they were using this as something else. Otherwise, if they say, great, we can't wait so we can do this again, just so you know, money's never a thing with us. But we're coming. We want you with us, and we're going to make up for lost time. Then you know, hey, there's something bigger at play here.
Right.
But trust your gut, right? What do you think, Dave? I guess I don't have a problem either way with it.
Yeah, John's point that are hovering around in his point, I think, is if this is truly an olive branch, don't saw it off.
That's what I'm feeling, and that's why I don't know how to respond.
Well, no, I'm saying there's a way to push it to the side gently, but you don't have to saw it off. And so, number one, you don't need to respond. Your husband does. This is about him. Right. And he responds and says, hey, bro, man, I really do want to reconnect. And this means a lot to me that you would offer to pay for this. And it's so kind and generous of you. we are committed to this plan, and I know that might not be something you understand, but we're going to stay home, but it's not because of anything except we're working this stuff. And I know you're paying for everything, but it doesn't work for us this year. If y'all want to come down, hang out, get you a hotel in the area, we'll go to dinner. We'll all go out and throw Frisbees in the backyard. We'll do some stuff like that. And then maybe another year we'll go on vacation together. But I just can't do it this year. And thank you so much for reaching out. And if he then bows up and goes, well, you won't take my gift, and then you go, well, see, there it was. Okay, like John said. But it's a way to test the waters without smacking the possible reconciliation in the face.
Or without ending up 4 days into a 7-day cruise reeling like, oh, no.
Oh,
what did we do?
No, we can't get away.
Yeah, we're stuck on a boat now.
I'm stuck in here with Cousin Eddie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
And my husband will talk to him. I won't respond for him. We talked about it the other day, and we're like, we don't know how to say this.
Yeah,
like a vacation sounds great.
Well, it is way over there on the edge of awkward.
Yeah.
But hey, Julie, I also want to put this out in the water. It is easy from you and your husband's perspective to look at your brother-in-law and say, man, I can't believe he burned us for 6 years over a four-wheeler. But your husband's got to own some of that, too.
It wasn't a four-wheeler. There's something else going on. There's
and he
an
may
argument
not
about
have the tools to have this conversation well, so he's going to know, I got to be gentle. I got to be appreciative. I want to always go into this thing assuming it's an olive branch. I love that analogy, Dave. I'm not going to cut it. I'm not going to saw it off. I'm just going to move it aside and say, not this year, but soon.
Yeah, gently. Yeah.
Yeah.
But and then that's having strength and
boundaries.
And it also gives you a little bit of a little test here, because I'd rather do Frisbees in the backyard than in Cancun for a week.
Yep.
In this weirdness. So let's just have a little where there's a little better escape hatch and everybody's not heavily committed, and you that kind of stuff. So we want you to rebuild the relationship if it's possible.
Absolutely. And it doesn't have to start on a paid-for vacation.
In spite of your hurt and in spite of your scars.
Yep.
Yeah. John is in Tampa, Florida. Hey, John, welcome to the Ramsey Show. How can we help?
Thank you, Dave and John, for taking my call. My wife and I are in baby step 7. We have paid for rental property, but I'm trying to figure out what our ROI is on that to determine whether they are a good investment to keep long term. We've owned it for about 10 years.
Is it a residential house?
It's short-term rental, actually.
Okay.
So they're vacation rentals.
Okay. Well, usually those have much higher management fees. Management company takes a bigger chunk, right?
Yeah, we actually manage it ourselves.
Oh, okay. And you're like running a VRBO type thing.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, the benefit is that
you get high rents when you get them, but then there's the off season.
Correct. And we've had a significant increase in property values over the time, too, which has been beneficial.
But a significant increase in turnover of the tenants. I mean, it's week by week. It's not. Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out.
Okay. On residential, traditional residential, I own a bunch of houses, and our portfolio averages a little north of 8% cash on cash. Okay? Meaning that the value of the property, we generate 8% of the value after expenses.
Without depreciation.
Not counting depreciation, not counting increase in value. Cash on cash.
Oh, so the actual cash you paid for it?
No. The actual cash of value of the property. It would be cash on cash if it's cash.
Value.
You're correct, but we do it on value. We want to see our rents coming up to match the values to keep us around that 8% mark after expenses. Now, that's a traditional rental house that rents for a year, not by the week. By the week, you should be making more because you got a lot more labor.
And you got to account for the gap of no rent, right?
And you got you got these gaping holes of off season and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, if you're not getting north of that, you should probably rent it straight up instead of vacation rent it. Because you're dealing with this a pain in the butt. This is the Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, this is James, senior producer for The Ramsey Show. Did you know over 18 million people listen to The Ramsey Show every week? And a lot of those people listen on one of our 600-plus radio stations across the country. To find a station near you, head to theramseyshow.com.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, best-selling author, and host of the ever-popular Dr. John Deloney podcast, is my co-host today as we talk about your life and your money. It's a free call, and some say the advice is worth what you pay for it. 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. Mike is with us in Columbia, Missouri to start this hour. Hey, Mike, what's up?
Hey, Dave. First off, I want to say listened to your show for a while, and it's changed my life. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Yeah, kind of facing a decision now. Kind of looking to make a change in my career, and I'm looking at two jobs. Both of them are paying a little better than I'm making now, but the one kind of on the lower side. It has a better location. It has just a lot of intangibles that are great about the job, as far as a good boss, be a part owner in the company. But on the other hand, I have another high-paying job that the location's kind of up in the air. It's a bigger company, and there's probably more room for advancement. I was just wanting to see kind of what you thought about that, as far as
what does each one pay?
The lower-paying job pays about $80,000, and the higher-paying job, I could probably, within 2 or 3 years, probably make double that.
Okay. Doing what in each case?
They're sort of in the sales industry.
So you're a sales guy.
Yeah, sales and consulting.
Yeah. Okay. So the intangibles must be pretty stinking high for you to be willing to take half pay.
Yeah. Like I said, it's kind of my dream location. The boss is a really successful guy, and I think just
but
being
you're not
around
going to
him.
be. I don't really care about his success. I'm worried about yours.
Yeah.
Unless you're 23 and you're going to put in 2 years and learn from an extraordinary mentor who's going to carry you along the way, and then you're going to have somewhere to go.
Yeah. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 24.
Okay.
All right. So is that your idea? You're thinking you can kind of you can learn from this guy because he's a butt kicker?
I think that's part of it. And then, yeah, the location is, I want to live there.
And Mike,
it's more exciting.
There's something else here. What's the thing you're not saying?
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking for permission to not take this job that you don't really want but that's going to pay a lot?
I don't know. I guess.
What's the location? What's the location of the underpaid one that's so appealing?
It's so I would be in training, kind of around the Columbia area, and then it's up in the air where I would go. It's been thrown out. Georgia.
That's the 80,000?
Different locations. No, that's the higher paying job.
Okay, what about the one that's got the great location? Where's the great location? Columbia?
It's in the Pacific Northwest.
Like where?
Like Seattle area.
Okay, so you want to move to Seattle? That's
sure.
appealing to you.
That area.
That's appealing to you.
Yes.
Why?
Like the outdoors, and it's nice to be able to kind of go in your backyard, and it's all there. You can go fishing after work and different things, which I know you can do in Georgia, but it's just not the same.
It sounds like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to make a forever decision, and you're 24 years old, man. And if you were telling me that, hey, I've got the opportunity to work for Dave Ramsey for 2 years, learn the ins and outs of this thing, and he's going to take me along on the ride, and then I'm going to have skill set. I'm going to have to get a ringside seat to a world-class leader, and then I'm going to have him on my as a reference the rest of my life.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to be real rude for a second.
Go make the money.
I'm going to be rude for a second, okay? If you're coming to work for me and you want to move to Franklin, Tennessee, and the reason you want to come to work for me is because you can go fishing, I don't think I want you.
Well, I also like, I mean, it's in my industry, and it would be, it'd be like more responsibility, and it would be more, I would just have the freedom to do a lot more in the company and you know, help the company make money and be successful.
You grew up in Columbia, didn't you?
Yeah, I've moved all over the country doing different things. I worked for a large contractor.
Oh, so you've already, so okay. All right. Okay, here's the only way I know to help you answer the question, because I'm just confused about this call.
Yeah, me too.
A good way to do this is John was onto something there. It's not forever, but do ask yourself the question, what do you want to be doing when you're 34? 10 years from today, and where do you want to be doing it, and what kind of money do you want to be making, and what kind of a career field do you want to be in, and all those kinds of things. And once you identify that, ask yourself the question, which of these takes you there? And the love of the great outdoors, I'm sorry, that's way down the freaking list of the discussion on this. Because if you make 160 versus 180, you can buy an airline ticket.
Well, especially if you're a salesman, for the amount of time you're going to be able to get out and go fishing. What I'm telling you, if you're my friend, if you're my son, I'm telling you at 24 years of age, you are starting the grind, brother. Go make your money. Go to a place where you're going to have a lot of influence, where you're going to learn a lot. And Georgia's a beautiful, wonderful place to live. And as Dave said, man, go spend a few weeks in the great Northwest. But, man, get that stuff under your belt, and then you have a lot more options when you're 34 and 44 and 54.
Yeah, but which of these decisions takes you to where you want to be 10 years from now? And that'll get you off the short term of, ooh, I don't want to live here, ooh, and this guy's a nice guy, ooh. None of that takes you where you want to be 10 years from now. And so the decision-making variables in this are disturbing, and I can't put my finger on exactly why.
I'm going to guess if we were to sit down and have some coffee with this person, there's a romantic interest at one of these places that or a mom and dad interest at one of these places.
Well, that's why I asked if he grew up in Columbia. It sounded like he's trying to get out of there.
Ah, gotcha. Get out of the South.
I got to get away.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting away from crazy family or something. I don't know what's going on. I can't put my finger on it. But good luck with it, dude. Look out 10 years and ask yourself which of these is going to take you there, and hopefully that'll help you answer the question better than these two goofballs did.
And she'll go with you, trust me.
Yeah, she'll come find you if she's worth it, or you'll go back and buy an airline ticket or whatever, however that works.
I think we overthink stuff, Dave. You're 24 years old. Just get in the ring and hit the dude in the mouth, man.
Listen, yeah, you don't. Where are you going to college? So-and-so. Why? My girlfriend's going there. Bad plan. Warning. This is The Ramsey Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs. We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org/budget.
We absolutely believe in it.
You ever ask the question, how much should I be saving? Or how do I get out of debt faster? Or how do you invest because I can't even spell it? Well, here's the good news. You don't have to figure out the answers on your own. Ramsey Plus, which contains Financial Peace University, will guide you every step of the way. With a Ramsey Plus membership, you get all the digital teaching that you need to really understand money, so you can be confident you're always doing the next right thing. Our world-class budgeting app, Every Dollar, our tools, our guided action steps to help you make progress on your money goals fast. All of this causes you to win with money, many times for the first time ever. No more debt. There is cash in the bank for emergencies and a real plan where you have a sense of control because you have control. Ramsey Plus helps you get small, consistent wins every day that lead to big results and lifelong habits. To get started today with a free trial, text TRIAL to 33789. Text TRIAL to 33789. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Portland, Oregon is on the line. Dave's calling. Hi, Dave. How are you?
Oh, great, Dave. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Better than I deserve. I love it. Hey, man. Good to be on with you. It's funny. We just started listening to your show recently. My wife and I, up until that point, we thought, hey, man, we got it going on. And we started listening to your show and went, I don't know if we have it going on. Let's lay our scenario out for Dave Ramsey and see what he would say and what he would do any differently than what we're doing.
Okay.
You know, kind of, yeah. So looking for some notes, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fire away.
So,
what do you got?
I don't know. Okay, I'm 49. She's 46.
Mm-hmm.
We've got high school-age kids. I'm a real estate broker. Work independently, self-employed. She's a stay-at-home.
Mm-hmm.
We own our home, not outright. That's what we started questioning ourselves as we're listening to your position on real estate, mortgages, and debt in general.
How much debt do you have other than your home?
None. I have one. We own 3 cars. 2 are paid for, and mine is a lease.
Okay. All right. And so, what does it take to pay that fleece off?
Like 20 some odd grand worth of lease payments, probably.
Yeah. And what do you, well, give or take, it'd probably be a little less than that. But the, well, if you're going to keep the car, it'd be more than the lease payments. But anyway, so.
Right, yeah, probably more like 50 grand or something, I would guess.
Yeah. So what's your household income?
About $500K.
Cool. Why don't you just pay that off?
Yeah, I'll tell you where I'm all spread around. And that's one of the thoughts. And I actually called my accountant last year and said, or if I at least make all of my lease payments, my remaining lease payments, can I, tax deducted for the year? But he said, you better not do that. So here's what I got going out, right? So I've got my house. We owe about $870 on our house. I have it on a 20-year mortgage. Started off on a 30, and I know I don't want to have 30 years of the mortgage payment, so I refied it to a 20 at 2.5%.
Nice.
So that's about $6,000 a month, taxes and everything, all in. We own 4 rental properties. This is kind of also where we started questioning ourselves. Like Dave Ramsey said, don't buy a property unless you can pay it in full.
Yeah.
So of the 4 properties, 1 of them is paid in full, and the other 3 are about 50% equity. They're all worth, say, give or take $200,000, and what's owed on the other them are all less than $100.
Okay. Well, let's start with this premise. Okay. You make a boatload of money. You're very successful. Congratulations. Very well done. What could I do to add to the peace in your life financially and add to the probability that you end up more wealthy than if you hadn't talked to me? And my suggestion to do that would be, let's take this wonderfully large shovel you have of $500,000 a year, and let's line up all of your debts, your rentals, your home, and that stupid fleece car, and let's just begin to eliminate debt. Because if you were making $500,000 and all of these properties were paid for, wow, what a cool place.
I should think so.
Yeah. And that's going to take a while. Because it sounds to me like you got $1.5 million or $1.2 million in debt, and you make $500, and so if you put $300 a year on it, it's going to take you 4 years, maybe 5 years to clean up everything. But the beautiful thing is that mathematically you can do that and still live a very tall cotton lifestyle.
Or you can roll off one of those houses that you owe.
Mm-hmm.
And
if you got one of the rentals you're not thrilled with and use some of that equity to accelerate the process. But $870 on your home, making $500, man, you can knock that out fast. Mm-hmm. There's no panic on it. The other stuff I'd be leaning into pretty hard. And more than anything, I want you to do what you're doing with this phone call, and that's start to get very intentional with every one of these dollars. It's easy to get sloppy when you have this much money coming in. It's easy to get chaotic and justify this and justify that because you go, I'll make $500,000, which you do. That's pretty stinking incredible. Very few people do. And that's wonderful. So you're obviously a bright guy because stupid people generally don't make that kind of money. So...
I
just
remember,
an observation, but yeah.
And Dave, you taught me this about scale, right? So I see a number like $800,000 on a mortgage, remaining mortgage, and my heart stops.
Yeah.
But you got to lean that against $500,000.
Yeah, which means nothing. So
right.
that, take that down. That's $87,000 making $50.
Right. And so when I scale it down, I remember when I started making $30, and then I went up to $44. And you know what happened to me? Yeah. I ended up in more debt that first year than when I started because I stopped saying no. And you're talking about $44,000.
Yeah.
Nothing compared to this. Yeah. But I just thought I'd won the lottery, and I quit being attentive to these details. Yeah. And suddenly I had owed more money than when I made less money.
But Dave, honestly, what I was hearing in your voice was just a little bit of, as you started listening to us, you went, I think we're not being intentional enough. And so I'm going to ask Dave for some steps so that I can be intentional. I want a path here because I kind of been wandering around a little bit, a little loosey-goosey, a little margin in the emotions because I made enough I could be sloppy and still look good. And the good news is you haven't made a bankruptcy mistake. You haven't gone crazy. You didn't call me up with $87 million,
right? Or $8.7 million house.
Yeah, I mean you didn't call me up with any of these things. So I just think you're wonderful, and I think you've got a lot of potential. I would encourage you to be very intentional, step by step, and a really good idea is let's just lay out an interesting little simple spreadsheet on how fast we could pay off this stuff if we were intentional and we limited our lifestyle just a little bit, because $200,000 out of $500,000 divided into $1.2 million is 6 years, and that's
and I always want to direct people back to the word you said, Dave. I've never heard you approach somebody like that. But what you told him is, I want to know how I can add more peace to your life. Mm. And if I can pull some of this, if I can pull the other end of that fulcrum back, right? If I can pull the other end of that teeter-totter back and provide you less leverage and more peace.
Yeah, two words that don't go together, financial peace.
Right.
Government efficiency.
Yeah. But there's a moment when you're making $500,000 and you think, I should be sleeping better than this. I make $500,000.
I shouldn't feel like I'm doing something wrong,
or that I shouldn't be drowning as much. Yeah. Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. And, we took a call in the last hour. I think it might have even been the debt-free caller that said, we suddenly had peace. We suddenly had a sense of control just because we had a plan, not because we had executed the plan yet.
Yeah.
But just going from, I don't know what the crap's going on, to, I know exactly where I'm going. This is going to be hard, but I can do it.
And this one's gone. And then you get a little,
and that one's gone.
Taller.
And there's a little peace. There's, but there's peace in when you could see the light at the end of the tunnel mathematically, and it's not an oncoming train.
There's some research that says the day you make the counseling appointment for the first time, you start feeling better.
Oh, man, you wouldn't believe the number. When we first started doing financial counseling, people would call us up, and in order to get ready for the financial counseling meeting, they would get their crap together.
Yes.
And they would cancel.
We sat down and talked about it.
Oh, that's happened a lot. Yeah.
When you take that first crooked step towards a new trajectory.
Look confused and stumble forward, but stumble freaking forward.
There we go.
This is The Ramsey Show. love it. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Gabriel is here to do a debt-free scream. Hey, Gabriel, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing wonderful. How are you today, Dave and Dr. John?
Better than we deserve, brother. Where you live?
I live in a little township outside of Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, fun. That's a bit of a haul to Nashville.
Yes, it was a beautiful drive the whole way down.
Oh, that's nice. How much debt have you paid off?
I paid off $88,000 in student loan debt.
How long did this take you?
This took me 34 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that 3 years, approximately?
Yes, that would be $42,000, scaling up to $58,000.
Excellent. What do you do for a living?
I am a software engineer for a real estate company that's also located outside of Cleveland, Ohio.
Good for you. Well done, dude. Well done. So what was the 88? You said student loan. Is it all student loans?
It's all student loans, and it was a little bit bigger than I wanted because I did a major change halfway through college, and that adds an extra year, so that's a little extra debt.
What's your degree in?
Computer science.
Of course. Good. And then you're using it and everything. Yeah.
So 3 years ago, you had what feels like an insurmountable debt, and you're making $42,000. What made you look at that and say, I can do this?
Definitely looking at it and saying you got to get started somewhere. So getting hired right off the bat and saying, well, this is time. You know, I racked up all this debt over the 4 years. My degree helped me get my job, so it's time to put it to work and pay the debt off.
Stop it with your accountability and responsibility, man.
We just can't have this.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are you, 29, 28?
Close, 27.
27. All right, good. Very cool. He's not only that, he's a responsible millennial.
That's so annoying. You're messing up all of my stuff, man.
All your stereotypes are getting screwed up here.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And he actually had a plan, and he executed the plan. Golly. Wow. I'm so proud of you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Who was your biggest cheerleader?
Biggest cheerleaders, I got a couple people to reference. One of the big ones is definitely my mother, who's here with me today.
Yay, Mom!
My whole family.
Come down to represent.
Got friends. I got an uncle and aunt that said, oh, you're paying off debt. Let's find some homework that we can pay you to do. Got another aunt that helped me let me know of job opening positions so I could get an extra job in the final year and really knock out the debt. So thanks to all of them.
Wow. Wow. So everybody got behind you and gave you a lift.
Yes.
That's beautiful, man.
So there is nothing cool about finally getting out of college at 24 and getting your first job and then saying, I'm going to be in it for 36 months with no dates, no going out, no running around. I'm just going to knock this out. What kept you going every single day?
Every single day, definitely looking that at some point you're not going to owe anybody money, and it just alleviates all the pain of finding money here to go do something fun there because you're restricted by debt and those payments that you need to make. So that liberating feeling is definitely what I looked forward to.
You kept looking at that long game, huh?
Yeah, play the long game.
It wasn't that easy off the start because the biggest thing that I found was there's a difference between Dave Ramsey's Gazelle Intense and Gabriel's Gazelle Intense. And
hey, listen, Gabe, there's a difference between Dave's and everybody's. But yes, you're right.
Yeah, it started that first year making 42, and then you look down and you're like, all right, I'll make double payments on my student loans. This is going to be fantastic. And then you get through and you get to 2019, and all of a sudden you're like, I should rebudget the whole year and see how good I did. And I paid off $14,000 that first year, and I'm like, that's not bad. Listen to Dave Ramsey while on the treadmill, and all of a sudden I'm like, I could be doing better. So I reran those numbers, budgeted some four things, and I actually found out $10,000. I couldn't tell you where I spent it in 2018.
Wow.
And like you say, you do a budget, you give yourself a raise. I got a $10,000 raise, tacked that onto the 14, stretched every dollar a little bit farther, paid off
6-8 jobs. Yeah.
30,000 the next year, and then I got those extra jobs going into the third year of 2020, and then I paid off 44 of the remaining debt in that final year.
Wow, that's a curve right there, baby.
Yep, power of the snowball.
You're kicking it.
Dude.
You are kicking it. Well, it was more than snowball. It was intensity snowball.
Yeah, that's a snow plow.
Sacrifice. Yeah. Well done, sir. Very, very well done. Okay, so you're a professional now.
Yes.
$88,000 paid off. You're a professional get out of debt guy. Tell America, how do you get out of debt?
For me, what worked best, I'm a numbers guy. I had spreadsheets. I made my own amortization chart. So every payday when I sent it off to pay parent minus loans or government loans was like, all right, I only got 24 payments left and then 23 payments left. But having that visualization really helps. I also have my debt-free payment sheet here. So every time I paid them off, it just
There's
Get
the
outta here.
refrigerator magnet.
Yep.
Yeah, baby.
Visualization. That's what helped me get through it. Being able to see and actually say, all right, we're getting closer. It's going to happen.
You know it's gazelle intense when he didn't pull out an $80 dream journal. He pulled out a single sheet of notebook paper. Right? It was like, done.
Yeah.
Done.
6 folds. Yeah.
Hey, you mentioned
this guy's incredible.
Hitting the treadmill. What are some ways you kept yourself sane and whole during this time? That's a long time to sprint.
It is definitely finding activities that don't require a lot of money are really good. So anything that has to do with a little bit of charity work, doing mountain biking, that's free, going on nature walks, staying home, watching movies with friends and family. It's being active and enjoying life, just not with the super lucrative end of it for a short amount of time.
Yeah. So what's the biggest thing you're going to splurge on now that you paid off $88,000?
Oh, geez, I could spend a while talking about it. I already got it all budgeted out in things. But ideally, I'm saving up now. I got my emergency fund, so we're saving for a home. But after we get that home, I already have everything picked out for my home theater setup that I'll probably have one day.
This is going to be a home theater. Wow, this is going to be the real deal.
It's going to be a massive home theater. Your neighbors are not going to be glad you moved in. That's good, man.
I already planned on soundproofing the walls, so they won't hate me that much.
You're awesome. Oh, I'm so proud of you, brother. Well done. Very, very well done. Well, we got a copy of Rachel Cruz's book for you, Know Yourself, Know Your Money, her latest New York Times bestseller. Congratulations. You're a hero, man. You did it. You took control of your life in a culture where the stereotypical news feed is that your generation is lost and can't do anything, and you proved all of that wrong just by taking the reins of the horse and riding it. Well done. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Well done. Gabriel from Cleveland, Ohio, $88,000 paid off in 34 months, making 42 to 58. Count it down, brother. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. I'm debt free.
Yeah! Woo-hoo-hoo! I love it. Wow. That is fun stuff. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jason is with us in Norfolk. Hi, Jason. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. How you doing?
Good, man. What's up?
Well, I'm calling for a couple of reasons. My wife and I are working on purchasing or building a house, and we've been doing their program for a little while. We've paid down, I think, 9 or 10 accounts, and we are in baby step number 2. And I think it's been around $42,000 that we've paid down in combined. Now, the problem is that the land that we're building on was deeded to us from family, so it's specifically to be used for that kind of thing. And we're looking to get our house and stuff like that, but we have now the only 3 accounts left are 2 cars and a trailer, RV trailer that I got stuck with a previous marriage. Now I owe too much on it than what it's worth. And so we're trying to find out what to do and where we go.
What do you owe on it?
We've been snowballing everything.
What do you owe on it?
Doing that, but 27.
What's it worth?
Well, I was told by some people 19, and I've been told 12.
Okay. So you need to borrow the difference or have the difference. What's your household income?
We make about 152 right now.
Well, that's good news. You can come up with a $10,000 difference and get the thing sold.
Yeah, we're working on that. The question
is it up for sale?
What's that?
Is it up for sale?
Not at the moment. I have it at a friend's house because our current place we rent is an HOA, and I haven't been able to get it here to prepare it to sell, and I don't have a truck anymore to tow it.
How long has it been sitting at the friend's house?
About a year.
I'm calling bull crap. You need to get your butt in the car and go over and get that thing cleaned up and get it up for sale, man. Get your $10,000 scraped together.
Quit hanging on to your old marriage, brother.
This thing needs to go bye-bye. And some of these cars need to go bye-bye, and you don't need to be building a house till you get this mess cleaned up. You can stay in that rental house till that happens. Time to get focused, dude. You're eating around the edges. You need to bite right in the middle of the apple here. This is The Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, my co-host today. This is The Ramsey Show. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jack is in California. Hi, Jack. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. How's it going?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
So I wanted some advice on my current situation. I started binge watching your show about 3 weeks ago and decided, okay, because I want to buy a house soon. So I paid off all my credit cards. But the problem I'm having right now is I have a car I spent way too much on last year, and I bought it brand new because I drive about 100-mile round trip. So I spent $52,000 on my car.
Wow.
And it's about an $836 payment. And I was thinking, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and pay this off because the value has already decreased to like $38,000 when I looked it up on Kelley Blue Book. So what I wanted advice on was I have about $20,000 in my savings.
Good.
And I put my 401k on hold just last week. Because I had about 15% going in there. I'm 25 years old. I got 40K in there, which I want to use for a house. This year I'll make between 120 and 150.
Excellent. Okay, so the balance on the car is what?
The balance on the car is about $47,000 because I just bought it in September of last year.
Gotcha. So you throw 20 at it, and that leaves us with 27, and you make 100 and some change, and you pay it off in a year, right?
Yeah, so that's what my question was, because I was thinking of keeping like $10,000 in my savings.
No,
so
you need to get rid of this car.
Okay.
You're broke, man. $800.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's horrible. I'd be freaking out.
Yeah, and I realized, watching your show, and then I started paying off my credit card, and I was like, you know what? If I want to buy a house, I'm gonna have a mortgage payment and an $800 car payment.
No,
and
you're not doing that.
Realistic in California.
I'll come to California and box your ears. You're not doing that. No, you're too smart to do that. Let me tell you where you're struggling. Okay. You've learned all of this information and implemented all of this in a very short period of time. Your intellect went way ahead and left your emotions behind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you understood this intellectually, and you went like ding, 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 and you start doing it, and then you're kind of like getting a little bit of emotional whiplash because this has all happened in a relatively short period of time. Agreed?
Yeah, and you know what? Watching your show helps me out so much because a lot of this stuff is stuff that my parents are very frugal, and they taught me all this stuff. And
they were
they
freaking out when you bought this $52,000 car.
Yeah, but they let me make my mistakes.
Well, you're a grown man, and that stupid's not illegal.
And you explained it to them in a good way why you needed this one too.
Yeah, 100 miles a week, which means I'm going to destroy the value faster.
That was me justifying it in my head.
Yeah,
but I knew it was stupid when I was doing it.
Yeah, I heard you.
But you made me realize how stupid it is when I started watching your show.
I think you're smart, and I think you're going to turn this around. It's just the reason you're saying, but I'm going to keep the $10,000 is not because you intellectually don't see how this is all going to pan out. It's because you've done it all in a very short period of time, and you went from way over here in the land of stupid to rushing over into the land of the wise, and you got a little whiplash doing it emotionally. It takes your emotions a little time to catch up. So give yourself permission to go, this feels weird, but I'm going to do it anyway.
And you feel exposed when you get down to that $1,000, and I think that's the point, right?
Yeah.
We want you running.
Well, and we want all that money thrown at this stupid car to get rid of this debt. So,
but when somebody binge watches Dave, they realize, oh gosh, I'm not safe, and they immediately want to get safe now.
Yeah.
And so I get that impulse. I got to hang on to this.
And let me tell you the other thing. Those of you out there that are, you've been broke for 20 years, living paycheck to paycheck. And you work through this stuff, and you work your butt off, and you're gazelle intense for 3 years, and then you're debt-free, and you don't have any payments. And then you start actually getting some money, and then you look up and you go, dadgum, I have several $100,000, and I have no debt. There's another thing that happens is your emotions are still back there when you were broke.
Yeah.
And it feels weird to be able to buy a $10,000 thing and just write a check for it, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Mathematically, intellectually, but your emotions are like, back there when you were broke.
Right. So you got to heal along the way, too.
Yeah. I mean, we spend more on copier paper and coffee here than I used to make.
Right.
In this building. I mean, I have 1,000 employees. But when I look down at that number and I see
your
these
heart stops.
numbers going through, I'm like, I'm that little 28-year-old guy that's back there broke 30 years ago. I'm like, crap.
Yes.
We spent what on coffee? You know, it's like, oh, it's a lot of coffee.
So
you know,
the last time I bought a new car when I was an idiot was a long time ago. I went to we're looking at buying my wife a new car or a used car. And
new to her.
I thought, when did the prices go up? And she was like, 25 years ago. Right? But yeah, it's that same. They want what for a used car?
Yeah. But as you move away from one set of financial values and operating in one financial reality, and you move into another one, your intellect often goes before your emotions.
Almost always.
And then it's like later on. So I have to look down at the coffee bill and go, okay, this company did bring in $350 million, so we can probably cover this coffee bill. You know, so shut up, you little whining boy.
Yes.
But on the other hand, I look at that number and it still activates those old emotions. And so that tells me that still today, my emotions have not caught up with the intellectual activities required to run a $350 million company.
And it may never. It may.
Well, every time they do, the company grows. So I can't keep up.
That's right. That's right.
I can't keep. The same thing with me. You know, Sharon and I were looking at buying something last night, and she goes, I want to get this, and I'm going to spend a lot of money. And then she told me how much it was, and I went, that is not a lot of money, you little goob. Buy it.
But that 9-year-old little girl from East Tennessee is still like,
well, the one that was terrified and didn't think we'd ever be able to fill up her grocery basket again in the grocery store.
Yeah.
And now can and not think about it. But she's like, that's a lot of money. She's like a mischievous, like she's doing something wrong. I'm like, honey, put 2 zeros on it and we'll call it a lot of money.
Man,
it's not a lot of money.
I think, Dave, that is so wise that whether it's your marriage, whether it's your kids, whether it's you're in a new stage with your money, to always just pause. Have some built-in pauses to go, whew. Here's a conversation we were having upstairs. We're working on this new book. We say here, if you're not growing, you're dying. And I asked the team, it just hit me like a lightning bolt. What does growing mean to you? What does growing mean to you? And they were saying, intellectual stimulation and exercise plan and a good morning routine and reading and spiritual growth and all these things. And Dave, it occurred to me in this conversation, this is just yesterday, by the way, so I'm still processing it, but when you go lift weights, you're actually tearing your muscles down. It's when you rest that the growth happens.
Yep.
And so it's both and, right?
Yeah.
It's crushing it and reflection. Yeah. And so it's gazelle intense and I'm in a new stage here.
You are busting the lactic acid, man.
Yeah. I'm in a new stage and a new stage and a new stage.
And there's the pruning that causes growth.
Yeah.
And man, it's always a breakdown to build up.
Always. And when you read that hard book or have that hard class, it's at night when you sleep. That's when the neurons grow. That's when the growth happens, right? And so it goes back to, it's both and.
Maybe I should sleep more.
I'll always tell you that, yes. But I love this. Gazelle. And hey, don't forget to be reflective and realize, hey, you're safe now. You're safe now. And now we're going to start working about giving and building. And it's just keep make sure your head and your heart stay connected through this whole process, man.
Yeah, that's so, Jack, all of that rant to say that for everybody else out there listening, what you're going through is normal.
Yeah.
It's a normal part of the process for your emotions to catch up with your intellect. Take the whole 20,000 down to 1,000, work the baby steps like you heard when you were binging, and let's get that car paid off and get that debt out of your life. And the good news is, you can look back when you're 54 and go, one of the dumbest things I ever did was back when I was 24.
I bought a $50,000 car.
When I was 24. And you can look back. This could, you may have gotten the dumbest thing out of the way.
I wish I'd gotten the dumbest thing when I was 24.
You may have already checked that list box. The dumbest thing you're ever going to do could already be on the list.
That's a win.
That's a pretty cool
That's a life
thing.
win.
That's a good way to think about it.
And at the end of the day, you end up with a $50,000 paid off car. That's not a bad...
Not a bad way to end the dumbest
consolation
thing.
Prize.
This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer and phone screener for The Ramsey Show. If you would like to do your debt-free scream live on the show, make sure you visit theramseyshow.com and register. We would love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, best-selling author, and host of the ever-popular podcast by the same name, Dr. John Deloney Podcast. Be sure and check it out. He's here to answer your questions about your life. I'm here about your money and your life, and we've got an opinion about everything. So jump in, we'll help. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Lindsay starts us off this hour in Los Angeles. Hi, Lindsay. How are you?
I'm good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
So I was involved in a car accident in February. Praise the Lord, I'm okay. My baby's okay, but my car was totaled. I got a settlement for about $10,000. I believe it was about $10,700, and I tithed on it, gave the 10% to the Lord, and I have left about $9,500. And my husband and I have about $13,000 in debt. And I'm wondering if I use that settlement money to pay off that debt, or do I save it to get a new car?
Okay, so the car you were driving that was totaled was worth how much?
I believe it was worth about $10,000. I think they gave me what it was worth.
Okay, so this money is for the car. It's not for any injuries or anything like that.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just saying. So you were driving a $10,000 car. They gave you $10,000 approximately, and now you buy a $10,000 car, right? What's wrong with that plan?
I'm trying to. It's been hard finding a car because I commute. I want to get a car that's reliable. With
you were driving a $10,000 car.
Yes, sir.
Before, and
Yes,
we were not having this discussion about reliability.
Okay. Okay, I guess I don't know.
Sounds like you're overthinking it, or trying to figure out a way
No, you're
you
trying
can
to use this as an excuse to move up in car.
like you're going to win something. You didn't win anything; they just made you whole.
If you break even on this deal, you come out really good, or if you move down in car, you come out really good. So, what was the car you were driving that got killed?
It was a 2012 Camry.
Okay, not a bad car.
Yes, sir.
Not a bad car.
So go get another one of those.
That 2012 Camry is pretty reliable.
Yeah, it was amazing. I loved it. I bought cash for it, and I was really upset that it got totaled.
So find an amazing 2012 Camry for $10,000 because that's what that one was worth.
Okay. All right. All right.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I was really wanting something that would get me better gas mileage because I commute to work.
Then a Camry?
But my Camry did well. It did okay. I just,
It's not an F-150. I mean, so,
Yeah.
okay, what are you thinking about? Okay, let me just settle this, all right? It will be a mistake. Please do not, for your sake, use this horrible tragedy as an excuse to go further up in car and set yourself back financially. And you are rationalizing your butt off. I can hear it.
So here, I'll tell you. So what I was thinking, my husband, just to set the record straight, my husband thinks that we should pay this money to pay off the debt, but it's sitting in my account.
No, because then you would not have a car.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So I want to use it for a car, but I want to finish paying off our debt because we're really, really close. I want to finish paying off our debt and then just save like a couple more $1,000 to get myself something that's got low mileage and that will do well, like a Prius or something like that.
Lindsay, think about it this way. Getting in a car wreck was not a scratch-off ticket. You did land with $10,000 in your pocket. And if you were walking to work, then maybe this is a different conversation. But you need a good car to get you to and from. And the insurance company did what they were supposed to do, and they made you whole. And what you're trying to do is figure out how to be whole plus. And you can't.
Okay.
I just want you to get back to where you were.
Just get back to zero. That's
not worse, not better.
That's right. You didn't win anything, and the insurance did what they're supposed to do. They paid you. And so go get that same car back and then move on with your day. And don't overthink it.
Okay.
Now, you know, if you owed $80,000 on the car or $50,000 on the car, and this paid the car off and got you out of a mess, and we could move you down in car, we would talk about that. But your car is very reasonable. Don't move up and set yourself back and use some of the money you should have been using for debt. But you're also not required to move down to a $2,000 car either in this situation. So if I woke up in your shoes, I would buy a $10,000 car that got good gas mileage. And by the way, there's Prius on the market for $10,000.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
I'm not sure that's moving up in car, though.
Well played. I also understand you owe very little money left and you've got a $10,000 check in your account. And I get that's hard.
Yeah, but you can't be, you don't want to be carless. I mean,
no, you can't. But I get it. And then you got to go on and get a car, right?
If that was going to work, you would have had the car, a for sale sign in the car when it got totaled.
And that's where she's not able to make that leap, right? And we think that when we get an insurance settlement, we win. You didn't, man. That's not what that's supposed to be.
No,
it's supposed to make you whole.
Believe me, insurance settlement and win are never in the same sentence.
Right.
That never works that way. So, good question. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, I love that heart.
Anthony's with us. Anthony is in Los Angeles. Hi, Anthony. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hello, gentlemen. Good afternoon. I was just calling because recently I got out of the Marine Corps for I've been in there for 4 years.
Talking to the phone, brother.
Hey, all we hear is muffle, man. You got to speak into your phone.
Yeah. Sorry about that. So I was just calling. I just recently got out of the Marine Corps. I served 4 years, 22 years old, and I'm looking to buy my first home with the VA loan. I've been approved for 5.5 with zero down, and I'm wondering how much of that would be smart to actually use.
None of it.
None. Zero.
There's not a sentence that's come out so far that was smart.
Except for
the part where you served your country. Thank you for doing that.
That's right.
But all right, so let's stop. You realize the current interest rate is more like 2 and some change, not 5 and some change.
Yeah,
they're trying to charge you double, young man. Did you hear me?
Yeah, it was about 3.25.
Yeah, about 2.75. Okay, quotes this morning. So on a conventional with 5% down. What's the hurry to buy a house? You're 22. What do you do for a living?
I do IT.
What do you make?
$90K.
Good for you.
It's awesome, man.
That's so cool. So you got some good training in the military then, didn't you?
Yes.
Are you married, sir?
My bachelor's. No, I'm not married.
Excellent. Okay. All right. My advice to you is to wait a little while longer and use some of your fabulous new income to save you up a really nice, juicy down payment and get a conventional loan. The fees and the closing costs are much lower than on the VA. And certainly, according to your quote, the interest rates are better. That's a horrible interest
rate. Please do not buy a zero-down house in Los Angeles, California with the way the market is out of control right now.
Yeah, this is
You're going to be over your head,
timing
brother.
is bad.
Don't do this.
Anytime you don't have the money to do something and you do it, it never leads to good things. Just think about it that way. I hope we stopped you.
Get a great apartment, brother. Live your life.
I doubt I did, though. But thank you for your service. This is The Ramsey Show. Stop paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Hey, when folks are hurting, we want to make it as easy as possible for them to get the guidance, get the resources they need to win, to get better. And that's why we do this every day. We want to help folks. Over the past year, our team has been working hard to build a brand new website that makes it much easier for you to find all the great content, the tools, the products, the services that Ramsey has to help you improve every aspect of your life, not just your money. And guess what? It has launched. It is called RamseySolutions.com. We invite you to check it out. It is well done. I'm so proud of our tech team, all the research and process that went into it. It's your one-stop shop for everything Ramsey. RamseySolutions.com. All your personalities are there, including Rachel, Ken, Anthony, Christy, Dr. John, and of course me, all in one spot. You no longer have to go on a wild goose chase to find what you need. It's all there, easy for you to get to, with a ton of great resources. Check it out. It's free. RamseySolutions.com. Jeff is in Grand Rapids. Hi, Jeff. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
I got a question. Yeah, a question for you. I've been with the same company for over 30 years. I've invested everything within my own company. I've never ventured out to, independent Ross. And I've got a daughter that's recently graduated from college, doing exceptionally well, where she's debt-free, paid the last 2 years on her own. I helped her out, and she got some scholarships. She's a young 22-year-old with a great job, $30,000 in the bank.
Wow.
And my question is, I want to venture out to prepare for the next stage of my life and get an ELP help or Investor Pro, and I don't know if we should do this together. I don't know what the best route for us to go. I know that she, I didn't try to pressure her. She's ready to invest. So she's done everything right, and I've preached into her, which I haven't really listened to you much. I've come on to you the last few months from a coworker. So I'm learning myself, and I just need some guidance as to what to do.
What she should do?
Both of us. I don't know if we should invest. I'm ready to hook up with an ELP or a Smart Investor Pro. Is this something we should do together, or?
Oh no, you're independent adults. This is a grown lady, and her dad, right?
Yeah,
your retirement plans are not combined in any way. With the exception of when you die, you may leave yours to her. But I mean, other than that.
No, I was just looking for investment advice.
Yeah, you can both go to the same guy for investment advice. That'd be fine. So just click Smart Investor Pro, and you can schedule an appointment and go meet with a guy, and both of you meet with him. And then you can say, what do you think? You're going to use that guy, or do we want to talk to another one? And you could talk that through, and just make sure you get someone with the heart of a teacher, which you should. We try not to have any Smart Investor Pros that don't have the heart of a teacher. But, it is not necessary that you both be with the same person. It would be okay if you are, but it's not necessary, and you certainly don't have combined accounts or combined anything. I mean, you could share information if you want to. You could talk about what we're both doing and how we're trying to win. But let's let her. She's done a wonderful job of stepping out on her own, and let's let her do that.
And it's a common conversation, Dave, that I've had with parents over the years, where they've been needed for their coaching and their wisdom and their guidance and their direction, and suddenly they graduate college and they're off doing well, and the parent goes, what do I contribute to him now?
Yeah.
And that's that shift where just you're enough, just that relationship.
Yeah.
The fact that you're dad, she's going to ask you, she trusts you, you're a good guy, but now your value is less about what you're giving and just the fact that you are. You're my dad, right? And that's a hard transition for parents, man.
It is. It is. Yeah, because we've gone from doing everything for them.
Yeah. And
to doing almost nothing.
Yeah. Well, and I think we were probably doing less than we thought, but we sure gave that advice, and we sure said, hey, don't forget to. And then you look up and you're like,
I don't know.
Oh,
I kept the grandbabies the other day. They do a lot. You're doing a lot for them. I'm just saying. There's
a lot.
There's a lot of maintenance involved in them critters.
Oh, yes, there is.
Teresa is in Boston. Hey, Teresa, welcome to the Ramsey Show. How can we help?
Hi, Dave and John. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
So here's our situation. My husband and I were both 57 years old. We're raising our granddaughter. She gets about $500 a month for Social Security. We've just been kind of sticking it in a, no interest bank account. You have told me and others in the past that that's sort of family money, not just hers. My main question is, should I be putting that aside for a 529 plan, or should I be rounding out my retirement with that extra $500?
Why is she collecting that Social Security?
Her dad has passed away.
I'm sorry.
And we're raising her.
I'm sorry.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
What in the world? Oh. How long ago?
6 years now.
Oh, wow.
And she's 11.
Okay. All right. Well, here's the thing. No, you should not be putting it in your retirement, and no, you shouldn't necessarily be putting it in the 529. It's okay if you put it in the 529, but you are not morally or legally obligated to do that, because the SSI that you're receiving is not enough to cover what you spend on this child.
Right.
She costs your household more than that. And so then, and you are acting as the parent, and so you're going to do what is in the best interest of the child well beyond what the SSI amounts to. Agreed?
Yes.
Okay. So what is your household income?
So it's about 140.
Okay. And then you have the $6,000 coming in from SSI, so 146, correct?
Correct.
That goes at the top of your budget, 146. And then you go through your budget, regardless of where the money came from. Whether you made the money, your husband made the money, whether an investment comes in, whether there's SSI, it's just a pile of money. And now we're going to give every one of those dollars an assignment towards the baby steps. And it sounds like you are out of debt and have your emergency fund and you're on 4, 5, and 6. Are you?
Yes, we're out of debt and have our emergency fund.
Good.
So
Then you should be putting 15% of your household income into retirement in baby step 4. Above that, out of your budget that consists of all of your sources of income, you would put above the 15% going into retirement, you would put some money into baby step 5 towards this kid's college, and that's where you're going to load up that 529. And if you have an 11-year-old, you probably are doing more than $500 a month into that. But it has nothing to do with the SSI calculation. It just has to do you have an 11-year-old and you need to get caught up saving for college. And that's you're probably going to beef up baby step 5 and slow down putting any extra on the mortgage because you have a rising child heading towards college wide open.
Right. We also have, we're 57, so retirement's coming quick, and that 500 could help put us into the...
There is no 500.
Yeah. Well,
there's no 500.
Okay.
There's 146.
Okay. So I need to put a little bit more into retirement.
You need to put 15% of your income, household income, into retirement.
Okay.
If you want to get real technical about it, I only put 15% of the 500 in just now.
Okay.
If you want to be real technical about it, that's the way the math happens to work out. But you need to be putting 15% of your total household income in baby step 4 into retirement, and then you need to put all you can scrape together beyond that into baby step 5, because this kid, you're late for college, and you're moving forward. You got 10 more years to work. This kid will be out of college, and you will have built a pretty good nest egg by then by doing just 15%. Meanwhile, you can work on your house.
Okay,
but
that makes sense.
Quit parsing this money out. Yeah. You didn't say, I'm going to put money aside into retirement for my husband's income, and then I'm going to put some aside for my income. No, we called it a household income. There is the whole thing, baby, the whole thing.
And you don't help your kid by not having retirement, paying for their college, and then needing their help for your retirement home later on.
Yeah.
You're 100% chance you're going to retire.
Not 100% chance they're going to college.
Or to some fancy special one.
Whew. This is true. This is the Ramsey Show. From the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Brent and Brenda are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey, Dave.
Doing well.
Good, thank you.
Welcome, welcome. Where do you
Thank
guys
you.
live?
California.
Whereabouts?
Sacramento.
Oh, love Sacramento.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And originally from New Zealand. I'm a Kiwi.
Oh, fun. Well, good to have you guys. It's an
Thank
honor.
you.
How much debt have you paid off?
Paid off 172,000, 172,750 in about 9.2 years.
Good for you.
Slow and steady.
And your range of income during the 9.2?
130 to 195.
What do you guys do for a living?
Brenda?
I work in healthcare. Healthcare. I'm not a nurse, though. I work like a coordinator, back office type of thing, front office. So.
Cool.
And I'm a salesman. I sell moldings and doors.
Excellent. Very fun. Very fun. So 9.2 years. Was this your house?
Yes, sir. I'm weird.
You
We're both
are
weird.
officially weird people. A paid-for house in California. You are double down on weird.
Definitely.
I love it, man. I'm
Definitely.
proud of you guys.
Thank you. We are thrilled.
What is this house worth?
Probably about $450, and we bought it for about $230.
And you own it, baby.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
I love it. So what put you on this journey 9.2 years ago?
Well, I've been a FPU coordinator and just became a Dave Ramsey financial coach. So we've been leading FPUs, and I think just the power of compounding interest and realizing how much money you can bank in your own account. You know, if you get ahead of the mortgage and pay it off, you can save thousands and thousands of interest.
Absolutely.
So, also, I'm in sales, so you know, in the housing economy, it can be up and down. So it's up at the moment, but one day it's going to be down. So having no house payment is going to be really sweet when it goes down.
Yeah, it's going to. Well, I mean, the whole thing just gives you stability.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well done.
So Brent and Brenda, the number of I'm going to get in shape this year's I've done is a lot. And I last about 2.5 weeks. I work out real hard. I get all the forms and new weights because it's always the weights. How in the world have y'all kept plugging at this for 9.5 years?
We're in it together. It's a team effort. And we both were determined. We both had like a little sign in the refrigerator saying we're going to pay the house off in this amount of time in this year. And so we've been plugging away at it, but we haven't skimped so much. We've budgeted everything really well, used the financial principles techniques, and also just a testimony to the people in our class too as well. So, and sometimes it seems like that date is far off a little bit, but once it starts getting closer, we start getting more excited and stuff. So it's like, okay, we're going to pay the house off in this amount of time, and we'll be debt free. So
when you put the number on the refrigerator the very first time, all those years ago, how long did it say it was going to take you?
Well, it was technically October 2021. So our mortgage was about $1,090. We put down $2,300 a month and just pounded it. And
so you beat it by 6 or 8 months over the original goal.
6 or 8 months, yeah.
Yeah, very few people go longer than the original goal.
Yeah.
You almost always surprise yourself to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely.
And you guys did. You were the real tortoise. I mean, just kept plodding, man.
Yep.
Yes.
Definitely.
That's beautiful. The beautiful tortoise.
And thanks to our coordinators out here, the 3 coordinators, who really inspired us and helped us as well.
How many classes have you all led?
Well, we've only led 3 classes. The last one was a virtual, but fantastic because we got to coordinate with people from Alaska and Minnesota. It just flipping awesome.
Oh, that was
via
neat.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat. Yeah, the virtual coordination it's a different animal, but it's also very cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Most of our coordinators now are virtual. So good for you guys. I'm so proud of you. All right, now you're professionals. You have a paid-for house in California. You're professional debt reducers. What's the secret? How do people get out of debt?
Well, I think it's actually writing things down. I teach my students, hey, write down what is your 20-year goal and put it somewhere. Put it in the bathroom like we did, put it on the refrigerator. And if you have a goal, if you have it written down, you walk past it every day. And it just helps keep you focused. And also teaching FPU, you're accountable to the other students. But yeah, just writing it down, having a goal is important for us.
Yeah, fabulous. Yeah, keeping it in front of you is on anything. Maybe that's the secret for the gym thing, John.
Appreciate you, Brent. Thanks, man.
Yeah,
just kicking me while I'm down.
Hey, John,
Here comes the Brent bus. Feel the tracks?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
John, I'm so impressed you showed up early for the show. You're my mentor.
Although for the exercise thing, since COVID, they've closed, so that's kind of a little deterrent. So. But you got to keep plugging away and be creative.
I don't know, Brenda. That sounds like an excuse. You should probably write that down and put it on the fridge.
I know.
Man. So, hey, who's besides your classmates? Who's your biggest cheerleaders?
Well, I've got to tell you, we're pretty self-motivated, but just self-motivated. I'm on the scale of personality. You'll appreciate that, John. I'm probably like an 11 as far as discipline. So I had to be careful to work with Brenda. Not just save, but she can spend a little money on this, a little bit of money on that.
I'm a woman.
So.
Okay, we like to shop.
There is that.
And she works in healthcare, Brent, so they will never find your body, brother.
Yes, sir.
Good one.
Although I'm a hunter like you, John.
We have
You
our
can go either way.
That's right. We have things we can do with you.
Yeah.
That's right. You guys are fun.
Thank you.
This is so great. I'm so proud of
Well,
you.
thank you.
How old are you?
Ooh.
59.
59.
Yep.
Okay, so for women, don't ever ask our
32,
age or
32.
weight. It's just a no-no.
It's too late. It's too late because I don't care.
I promise I won't say she's 59. I promise I won't.
Okay.
So I'm older than both of you, so no whining.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah. But you're sitting here with a paid-for house. Did you ever think you'd get there?
We did, but I want to share. I remember at 4:35 a.m. I was in bed. I got my online payment, paid the last payment of $15,000. I remember your statement about how it feels so different. Got up out of bed and I walked across the room, and it felt like I was walking on air. And I remember that statement you made. It was so amazing. And I told all the class, I said, hey, remember those positive moments, paying that small debt off. Remember and embrace that, because the positive motivation is more important than the negative. Don't do this or don't do that. So
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. There's a lightness that is very real.
Oh,
it's
fantastic.
It's tangible.
Fantastic.
That people that have never been there don't have.
Yeah.
I'm so proud for you guys.
Thank you very much.
What a testimony to younger folks who are looking at a pile of student loans and say, it's going to take me 3 years. And you guys have set a marker out there that says, yep, it will. And it's going to be worth it. You're just going to get up and do it every day and do it every day and do it every day. You're going to find somebody to do it with you, and you're going to keep doing it. And then you're going to have that moment where you float across your bedroom, and it's going to all be worth it.
It was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for the inspiration, you guys.
Yes,
wow.
Appreciate
We're
it.
so proud of you. You're our inspiration. You're heroes. Well done. Very well done. All right, here it is. $173,000 paid off in 9.2 years. By the way, that's about 7 months early, making $130 to $195. House and everything. These guys have a paid-for California house. Shut up. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Game on, baby. Game on.
So rad.
It changes the whole equation for the next decade.
Everything.
Everything's changed.
So imagine in a year, the real estate market is settling, and his boss calls him in and says, "Hey, we're gonna have to downshift our sales goals for doors," and he'll go, "All right."
And
all right, have a good week, man.
Hope you're doing okay.
Yeah. If you need a hug, holler at me. I'm gonna be hanging out with Brenda.
I'm gonna be going on the by debt-free back porch.
Yeah, because we don't have a house payment. Have a good one, brother.
Woo!
So cool, guys.
This is the Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Zechariah 4:10. Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. Francis of Assisi said, start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible. For the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. Sometimes you cannot see the end when you start, but you need to start anyway. That's what we're saying.
Just start.
Just start. You know how you become a writer? You write.
Start writing. I don't know what to do in an exercise program. Just start.
Do it anyway.
Just start.
Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. They have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Means even if you mismeasure or you pick the wrong color, they will remake your window blinds for free. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best deal.
All right, today's question comes from Ginger in California. She writes, my husband refuses to deposit his whole check in our joint account and hides money in a separate account. He deposits only enough to cover our expenses, then turns around and withdraws large amounts later. He's a good father.
Horse crap.
Don't want to ruin my kid's life if we divorce. That's it. So, number one, he's not a good father. Number two, he's ruining your kids' lives. Not you being forced to do something about this. So there's not really a question here, Dave. This is more of a statement.
Yeah, your husband is a twerp. He is not husband material. He is not father material. He is a self-centered little child.
Yes. And he's doing just enough to keep his kids fed and you fed.
But he's a manipulative,
power-hungry idiot. And then he doesn't even care about y'all being fed later on.
Yeah.
Because he'll go get the money back.
Yeah. So, what does she do from here? Sits with a counselor.
Absolutely. And then the fact that she said, I don't want to ruin my kids' lives if we divorce tells me two things. Number one, she's thought about it. Or number two, the people in her life have said, this is over. Mm-hmm. And so she has built this up as I'm not going there. Mm-hmm. And so I have met with people who have said, I won't do that. And to which you say, okay, then this is the bed you're choosing to be in. You're going to have to make the best of what you got inside of here. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell her this type of manipulation usually comes with violence and or volume and or other types of neglect and manipulation beyond just the money. This is a symptom, right? And she's got to sit with a counselor and begin to create a or what plan, because this is a mess.
Yeah. And it's the to give you the strength, the assurance that you're not crazy.
Correct.
Or wrong.
Correct.
And the words, the narrative on how to calmly lay down what will eventually become an ultimatum.
Right. The or what. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're going to say you're either going to provide for this family by putting your whole check in the thing, and we're all going to work together, or we're going to talk about how we're ending this marriage because I'm not going to live like this anymore.
And these kids are not going to be raised with you as a model for what a husband and a father and a provider looks like.
Yeah, because, you're damaging your children by allowing them to think he's a good father.
Yes. You're throwing gasoline on a legacy forest fire.
Yeah, because they're going to duplicate what he does.
Times 10.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and to the extent he's yelling at you, then they're going to yell and hit. You know?
And to the extent that the mother of your children is simply an annoyance and in the way of whatever thing you need to buy, whatever event you need to attend, that's how they're going to treat romantic partners for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And you're painting a model. Here's what that looks like.
Yeah.
My life is more important than all of y'all's combined. My wants and toys and fun and stuff.
Yeah, the opposite of this is we often tell people, what is the best thing you can do for your children? Love their mother well.
That's it. When somebody says,
that's
hey,
the exact opposite of this whole thing.
How do I help my kid with...
how do I screw my kids up? Mistreat their mother.
That's exactly right. Hey, my kid's got anxiety. What do I do? Fix your marriage. Hey, my kids are struggling with XYZ. Fix your marriage. Have a great marriage. Start there, and then we'll start talking about the other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ginger. I'm sorry.
It's a horrible thing.
There's not even a question here.
It's a horrible thing you're in. But the if what we're seeing, with the information you gave us was not throwing your husband under the bus. If it was truthful and it is accurate, and then you are sitting in a mess and you need to do something about it. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
And you probably are going to need some help to do something about it. It's very few people can navigate these things by themselves. You need someone to give you language to it and someone to say, look, what you're feeling in your heart that this is wrong and you're being mistreated is correct.
It's accurate.
Is accurate. Because you start to feel like you're the problem and you're not the problem. It's almost a domestic abuse thing.
And here, look what she says. I don't want to be the one who ruins my kids' lives.
Yeah.
By taking care of me and my children.
You know what? He has said that to her.
Absolutely. If you leave me, you'll destroy these kids. If you don't quit yelling at me about the money, you're gonna mess these kids up.
Yeah.
And she says, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry."
Yeah, it's got the same tone of a domestic violence. That's why you said violence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan is there. Ryan's in Louisville, Kentucky. Hey, Ryan, how are you?
Hey, gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking my call. I truly appreciate it.
Sure. How can we help?
Well, first off, I just wanted to say thanks to your guys' program. My wife and I, we paid off $160,000 worth of debt and became debt-free
What a
in
stud,
December
man.
of 2018. So that was awesome. And I guess now we're sitting at what would be baby step 6, but we're on active duty military, and we rent everywhere we go.
Good.
And so I want to be saving so that when I do retire, we can pay cash for a house. So, one, can I save above the 15%? And
Yes.
two, if I can, where should what type of account should I be putting that into?
Yeah, your baby step 6 just goes in a separate mutual fund, and you nickname that the house fund, and you pretend like you're paying off a $200,000 house, and you try to get $200,000 in there.
Okay. Because so one of the things that I'm looking at is I'll get promoted later on this year, so I'm going to get a little over $1,000 pay bump, per month, and so I just don't know how much of that, I guess, should I be.
Well, you should out of your budget. You're on baby steps 4, 5, and 6. You should be putting 15% of your income, whatever your income is, into retirement. Baby step 4.
Okay.
5 is kids' college. Do you have kids going to college?
They're all taken care of. Yes, sir.
GI Bill got it?
GI Bill, and then some are just in the military themselves. So.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Okay. So check that box, right? And so then you say, all right, everything above 15% goes towards paying off the house early. Only we don't have a house. So we are building a pay cash for the house fund.
So you basically would have
which
a
is the
mortgage
exact
line,
same
right?
math.
Yeah.
So you throw everything in that
sense.
other mutual fund in baby step 6 above 15% go of your household income going into retirement. So in other words, if you get a raise of $1,000, you're going to raise your retirement by $150, and that gives you another $850 to throw towards this get out of debt house fund.
Okay.
And I just want you to pile up cash like fast and furious, like you were trying to pay off a house.
Exactly.
And the average person pays off their home in 7 to 8 years doing our plan. And so 7 to 8 years from now, I want you to have enough in there to pay cash for a house.
Okay.
Be the
Sounds
same
like a
same
plan.
exact math. It's just you're getting the benefit of the money instead of the mortgage company.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll work for you instead of paying that interest out. That's excellent, man.
Yeah, very well done, sir. And again, thank you for serving your country.
Yeah.
We really, really, really appreciate that. And, when you move around every 2 years because they move you, and most of the housing is in a military community where it's tough to sell a house, you can get really stuck if you start buying properties everywhere you go. So we tell folks if you're moving every 2 years for any reason, but particularly in the military, don't buy, just rent. And so he was following that advice, but this gave him a leg up on how to offset the situation there.
Nothing cooler than getting out of the military and writing a check for your home, right?
That would be pretty neat. That would be pretty neat. That puts this hour of the Dave Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.